You're watching Taste the Victory.
I gotta say, it's really nice not having to say, welcome back to Taste the Victory every single video now because of the channel intro. But let's get into this profile. This is the other Bond deck that is super popular, super hyped up. People are looking forward to in Booster Set 6. The other card on the cover of the packs, Agumon Bond of Courage, or for some reason, as it's known in the card, Bond of Bravery. People have told me this is actually what it's originally supposed to be in Japanese, so they just went with that original Japanese translation, which I think for something as integral to the advertising of Adventure was a really weird change. Like, everyone knows it as Bond of Courage, but I mean, that's not what we're here for to discuss. We're here to discuss the actual deck. So first things first, there is a lot of changes to this deck coming up soon, because actually in Japan they had the starter decks, the Deltamon and All Force Digimon starter decks, in the middle of Booster Set 5. So this deck over there never existed without access to the starter deck cards. However, in our English meta, Bandai has announced that they are going to be delayed past the release of Booster Set 6. The starter decks are going to be delayed. So I don't remember off the top of my head if they said by how long, but it's a significant amount that I felt we might as well build for that, and then we will build once we get the starter deck cards. So first we'll go through this first BT6 build, then we'll quickly go into the cards you will change out for the starter decks, and then we will show some tech options from there. So let's go ahead and just get into it really quickly. First up, we got 5X. Let me turn on stats for you. First one is Digimon, because it's a really nice generic way to get plus 1000 DP. Your turn, while there are 5 or more cards in your opponent's trash, Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. And because of our security, that will be very easy for us to hopefully hit them too. Then we got our main one, which is Demi Miraman, very cute, introduced in this set, BT6. When attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 1000 DP for the turn. So when you swing at their security, you are getting that plus 1000 DP. Keep in mind, this will not work if you swing at their Digimons, purely at security, but because of how aggressive and security plus focused this deck is, that is not something we're too worried about, and usually will come up often enough. Something I want to do differently here is we usually go all the way up, but often I find myself referring to the Mega when talking about the lower level cards. So let's just go ahead and get to the Mega now. That is Agumon Bond of Bravery. 14 to play, 3 to Digivolve, 14,000 DP, and then when attacking, if you have a Tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or less. Your turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, trash the top card of their security stack. So that first effect is amazing because you will almost always hit something on the field with that, unless they have a crazy level 7 out, like a Chaosmon or an Omnimon. And because of that, you'll be able to safely discard a security from them, which this deck really appreciates, because you don't have to worry about losing your stack if you happen to trash a Gaia Force or something like that. It's a very cool pressure tool. Admittedly, not as strong, in my opinion, as the Agumon Bond of Friendship equivalent, but still a powerful deck that puts on pressure. To start with our rookies, we got a 2-drop level 3. Similar to Agumon Bond of Friendship, this is kind of just a Rookie Rush focused deck with your Bond as your finisher to get past anything that will traditionally stop Rookie Rush. So yeah, just a generic 2-drop because it is 3000 DP, easy and cheap to hardcast. Then we got Agumon. So this is all the way back in 1.0. This is 3 to play, 2000 DP, and then on play, reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck, and you can add 1 Tamer card among them and place the rest on your bottom of the deck in any order. This is crucial for running, for getting our ties, which is the key to being able to warp Digivolve, and then we're also running Marcus, which synergizes with the little Greymon package we have, and then also guarantees us 3 memory so that we can go into our Bond if we our memory choke. So this is a good Agumon. You can feel free to play with this ratio because this will bottom deck your Agumon Bond of Braveries if you're missing it. So, you know, play between 3 or 2. Next up, we got Agumon Expert. On play, return 1 card with Agumon in its name from your recycle bin to your hand. So we run tons of Agumon. This is basically Agumon Tribal Rookie Rush variant. And because of that, we'll be able to recycle a lot of our cards. But more importantly, it says Agumon in its name. So that does count Agumon Bond of Bravery. But Agumon Professor does recycle this card, so you have access to more than just the 4 copies of Agumon Bond of Bravery once this hits the trash. So fantastic resource card to help with your grind game there. You definitely play with this ratio as well. Then we got Otamon, more of the Rookie Rush base. It is 2 to play and 2 to Digivolve into, but you will never want to Digivolve into it because of that expensive cost. You're going to hardcast it all the time like a Rookie Rush player, but it has 5000 DP, which is really amazing for a low investment to level 3. And then finally, we got our equivalent of the Agumon from Agumon Bond of Friendship decks. We have Agumon, 3 to play, 2000 DP, and then all turns, once per turn, when you play a Tamer with Tai Kamiya in its name, gain 1 memory. And then we have Inheritable, your turn while this Digimon is Agumon BT1 Bravery, against security attack +1. So that's definitely not as great as being able to restand that the Agumon lets Bond of Friendship do, but it still, you know, puts more pressure on your opponent by letting you clear security faster. Still a great card that you want to run at 4 for that synergy. Like if you play with the Tai, you get to reduce the play cost of it, and you get to power up your Agumon BT1 Bravery. Then we have Promo Agumon. We have 3 to play, 2000 DP, and then your turn, while this Digimon has Greymon in its name, it gets plus 2000 DP. So I believe this was a box topper back in booster set 1.0 for us. And this comes as a little package that we're running with the Greymon here, which is also a promo that came together with that card. This powers up your Greymons by 2000 DP. So we have a couple of targets for that, and that puts us in a pretty comfortable position DP-wise, because you see here, we have your turn, we have 5000 DP, so this gives it plus 2000 DP, putting it at 7k, which is actually a pretty safe number to swing into security. And as we'll see shortly, that's why we're running another champion, because that 7000 DP is a pretty safe threshold when paired with our Digitamas. Next up, we got 4 Agunimons, and we're definitely focusing on 4 here. A lot of people run 2 to 3 just to have it in case you Digivolve your Tamer. But with these kind of decks, you want to be aggressive as possible, and I have lost plenty of games to not seeing my Lobo one or Agunimon early enough. So I think 4 is very much a viable tech and something you want to run these decks since you're trying to close out the game as fast as possible, because this is 2 to Digivolve over your Tamers, a great card. And then what I was referring to earlier, we got Deltamon. I always thought this guy was a level 5 ultimate before the card game, but apparently he's a champion, which is amazing because this guy's only 5 to play, 2 to Digivolve into, yet 7000 DP. Now, paired with our eggs, this becomes 8000 DP, which is honestly, for a local commitment champion, a very safe number to swing into security. Like, that is pretty huge. And then 7000 DP, if this is in the early game, your opponent won't be able to swing back without trading in most colors, making Deltamon really great early pressure tool. So this is definitely a card to consider. And you can also consider running the starter deck Agumon to power this one up further with another guarantee plus 1000. Because if you get those and an egg underneath it, that's a 9k beater champion, which is really huge and very likely to survive security. Awesome card tech. Then we got the Greymon referred to earlier. It is 2 Digimon into 5000 DP. Your turn, while this Digimon has an Agumon Digivolution card, it gains security attack +1. So that pairs with the Agumon we were talking about earlier, making it a champion with 7000 DP and 2 checks. And then if you have Marcus out, you even get to gain a memory off it, which is fantastic from that. But 7000 is pretty likely to live most champions, some ultimates. So you will have here and there have the second check go off. Very likely you will die on the first check and not be able to get the full advantage of it, but 7000 DP is high enough for a local commitment champions for it to be likely to be able to actually hit it. Then we got our final champion here, GeoGreymon, which I just realized is actually part of the starter deck that got delayed. Whoops, okay, so we'd have to make some changes there. Live deck building right now, level 4 reds. So basically, the reason we're running this is because it's an amazing card from the starter deck. It's 2 Digimon into 5000 DP, but more importantly, it's a security Digimon. So security at the end of the battle, this card plays itself without paying its memory cost. But then it also has the on-play delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less. So that can snipe you a rookie to help like delete their board. Either way, it's just a nice bonus. The big thing is being able to play out that card from security, and now you suddenly have closer to lethal than you did before in a deck that already puts on so much pressure. So I guess what you could do instead is you could just run 4 of this guy instead, because this is the Greymon that plays itself from security in booster set 1.5 for us in English. So this is also, I mean, the closest substitute we have at booster set 6 until the starter deck comes out. It's not nearly as good without the minus 4000 DP, because that puts a lot of pressure on you. And maybe not even just about deleting Digimon, you know? It lets you minus opponent's Digimon so that your guy can beat over them if they're too high DP. But yeah, this plays itself as security, same principle, so you can substitute this in the meantime. But then we went over the Agumon BT1 Bravery already. Really great. It's your win con, powerful, able to swing in a lot of security and delete your opponent's board while trashing their security. After that, we got a Delicate Plan. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon gains. This doesn't activate security effects of options for the turn. So this is good to protect you against like security zoo matchup, and also against a bunch of other decks. Like Blue has that Rattlestar option, which messes you up too with how wide this deck can go in a Rookie Rush variant. So this is great to protect you in security checks. 2, just to make sure we see it. Then we got Red Reamer. So this is Agumon Bottom Bravery's option. It's only 4 to play. Because of that, its main effect is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. However, if your opponent has 3 or more Digimon in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or less instead, and a security effect activates its main effect. So, in Booster Set 6, it is incredibly easy to go wide to have 3 bodies and up. So this will almost always be live. You'll be able to get rid of most of the big threats you need to remove. So this is a fantastic option in the time being until we get starter deck options, which we'll get to in just a second. After that, we got good old Gaia Force, unconditional remover for 8 cost is worth it. Then we got Marcus. It guarantees you the 3 memory, and when you swing with your Greymons, which is with the small Greymon package we have, you get 1 memory. So it won't always come up with the Greymons, you know, since we literally only have 4 targets or 7 targets for it. But being able to guarantee that 3 memory so you could always go into Bond of Bravery is fantastic. Then we got Tai Kamiya, which is crucial to this deck because it facilitates the warp. It is 3 to play, and then your turn, when one of your Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name moves from the breeding area to the battle area, gain 1 memory and trigger draw 1. So that's fantastic. If your opponent puts you at 2 and you don't have your memory tamer out, this could put you to 3 to help you get up into your memory you need to go into Bond. And if you don't have Bond, maybe you'll get it off that draw. And then we have main. Once per turn, Digivolve your Agumon into 1 Agumon Bond of Bravery in your hand for its Digivolution cost, ignoring its level. If you do, trash the top 2 cards of the security stack. Then if you have 1 or more security, delete that Digimon at the end of the turn. So that's great for helping us warp and just put as much pressure on as we can. You definitely gotta time it wisely because of the effect to trash your security, and then it goes away at the end of the turn. But when it lets you push for game, it is incredibly powerful. So now, as I was leading on to, we could go ahead and get into the starter deck changes. Since this will be BT6 still, it'll be, I'm assuming, like halfway through BT6, that's when we're gonna get this Deltamon starter deck, which we'll see here. So first thing, you would cut the security Greymon from 1.5, and then you would max out the new ST GeoGreymon, which is no security Digimon, but has that amazing minus 4,000 DP effect that could potentially be free if it's played out with the security effect. After that, you want to change some of these Agumons. Probably we could get rid of the Otamons and run this one, because this Agumon is amazing. When this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 2,000 DP for the turn. So we're going to be attacking our opponent's security most of the time anyways, but now this Digimon gives us a huge boost for attacking security. So paired with Deltamon, this becomes incredibly threatening. If you have just this Agumon underneath it, that's already 9k. You are living a bunch of stuff in security. If you have a baby underneath it that's active, that is 10,000 DP. You are living a majority. All of your swings are very likely to be safe with that kind of DP on a Deltamon. And since it's 7,000 DP in the early game, it's going to be hard for your opponent to swing back. So Deltamon is great early game with once we get the starter deck. But yeah, you would take that, you would replace that. Then we also have the new Atomic Blaster option. So with this, we would probably take out Red Reamer so we don't have to worry about meeting condition and replace it with Atomic Blaster. This is 5 to play, and its main effect is choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to 8,000 or less and delete them. So against like Agumon or something or any other Rookie Rush variant, you could clear an entire board like this because they have like 1,000 DP Digimon, 2,000 DP Digimon, you know, in addition to the 5,000 beaters. So this clears boards because of certain decks, and even then, like non-Rookie Rush, this still could kill like a minimum like 2 Digimon, like an ultimate and a rookie, if your opponent let that out. And then a security effect activates it. So that makes your security incredibly threatening, way more than Red Reamer with this. So this is an amazing option card that you want to replace right away. And then finally, also coming with the starter decks is the promos that come in them, which is the Memory Boost. So the Memory Boost is 3 to play, and then you reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, and you get to add 1 red Digimon card among them to your hand. Then you place the remaining at the bottom of the deck in any order, and then its delay effect, which is to trash it after it's been on the field for a turn, lets you gain 2 memory. And then security, place it in, well, it places it in your battle area. It doesn't play it, and that's important to distinct. But yeah, gain 2 memory. So if you're choked at 1, delay this option, and then you get 2 memory to go into your bond, and then it's on play, it would maybe let you search for, or rather its main effect will maybe let you search for the bond if you're missing for it. So this card is great for consistency. This is definitely personal preference and up to you, valuing, seeing how much you value security, but I would probably just cut down the delicate plan to be able to fit that in there. And this is more of what a booster set 6 Agumon Bond of Bravery will look like once we get the starter decks. This is really cool. It's honestly, I'm not too sure how well it even functions in BT6 before the starter decks because these cards are amazing. You saw how much we ended up changing out. It makes the deck a lot more aggressive. Like, it's still a great option, but it just gets so much better once we get these pieces. And then finally, we got our tech options. So this is really interesting. This saw a lot of play in a bunch of Japanese locals. So what we could do is become, we could get Monodramon, and we could become a hybrid, like, aggressive Rookie Rush security control tech. So you would run like 2 or 3 of Monodramon. Then you up your other options so that you get like 4 of them. I'll take out the Greymon package so you could up your options up to 4 now. Both of them, and you can put in a Waver's Breath to activate off of the lone chance you have that Monodramon on field. Probably 2 of that, because then it does make your security more threatening as well. Probably down Gaia, of course. Atomic Blaster, so we can make room for that. And then probably put this down as we won't need it as much. Up that to 3. Up this so we have more consistency for the other cards. And then you could do something like this, which is like a mini security control, because you have insane security between Atomic Blaster, between GeoGreymon, between Gaia Force, and between now Wyvern's Breath. And then you get to stack your security with more potential bombs because of it's on play, and you get to play yellow level 3. You don't really worry about it too often, but just that security effect keeps you into the game while also making your security more threatening. So this is certainly an option you could also consider once we get these starter decks. Honestly, while we're waiting for starter decks, you could probably, even because this probably works out a bit better, so you could substitute a lot of the cards that we don't have yet. But yeah, this is just another tech option that's really spicy that I've seen a lot of people do, and it's really frustrating to fight against because it's literally security control with aggression. It's not as oppressive, I would say, as security control, but man, it's still annoying to fight into. But yeah, it's definitely something you can consider. That is Agumon Bravery. There's quite a few ways you can build it. Let me know how you're building it, but I hope you like this video with all these variations of it you can play. Let me know how it's going to treat you in the Booster Set 6 meta, and let me know what you want to see in the next video. And until that next video, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.